Did you see my post for Brunson-Whittaker? Amazing fight.
Yeah.
The card was shit. Shout out
Really?
to my boy Kyle Noak, who
won
retired.
it? Did Brunson win?
So check it out. So Brunson versus Whittaker, and Brunson was actually favored. Whittaker's from Australia, so it's in his hometown, home country, right? So the crowd's going nuts for him. The pace Brunson set, I was like, does he not realize that it's 25 minutes? What is he? There's no way he survived 25 minutes. He was running straight forward, and it's worked for him to this point. He's on this crazy win streak. He's ranked, I think, 7 or 8 in the world at middleweight. Like, it's been
wrestling pedigree?
I'm not sure. He's known as a striker, though. Although he did try taking down Whittaker, but he's known for his kind of wild style. So he sprinted at Whittaker. The intensity and pace he set, I'm like, oh, my God. He's either, A, going to knock this dude out and get him out of there right away, or he's going to go night-night.
He's going to gas,
but get knocked out because he's rushing forward, like sprinting forward. It was so fun to watch. But Brunson kept doing it. Whittaker was calm, cool, collected. I've never seen like a championship kind of streak in him to this point. Granted, he won the Australian Tough and all that stuff, but I've never been like,
talking about Whittaker.
Yeah, I've never really seen him like as a huge threat. That night, you're like, okay, well, this boy has some serious talent because he weathered the storm and then just landed a vicious, because as Brunson's running in, I think he hit him with a right hand, wobbles Brunson, throws a head kick. Boom!
Whoa.
Finishes him off. First round.
First round.
And then people go, oh, Brunson, why would you do that kind of game plan? But you loved him when he was winning.
Yeah.
Where were you when he was winning?
It worked 8 times
Now, would it work against the top 3 guys? No, they're going to eat your dick up like Kobayashi. But... Yeah. It's gotten to this point, which is why we like him, which is why he's kind of a name. But Whittaker looked amazing. I think what I would do next for him, and I can't say this anymore if I was Joe Silva because he's leaving. This December's his last month. Shout out to Joe Silva. But whoever's the new guy is, I would do Whittaker versus Mousasi.
Really?
That'd be the fight, I think.
And Mousasi just won. I think
he just beat
coming
Uriah.
off. Yeah,
he just beat Uriah Hall. Because remember,
and he had to redeem himself. Cause
but he was winning that fight, and then Uriah landed that spinning back kick, and then he just destroyed him this time. But overall, and then Kyle Noak, who's fought 15-year career, trained with a guy, great dude. Funny fact about Kyle Noak, he was security for the crocodile hunter.
He was?
He was his personal security.
Really?
Yeah.
So I watched that fight. When I was in
Kyle Noak fight?
Yeah. He looks good. He looks very muscular.
He retired.
Oh, he retired?
Yeah, he retired.
That was the last fight?
Yeah, last fight. His 15-year career. He was the Ultimate Fighter coach. One of the nicest guys of all freaking time.
Really?
I don't know if he still has the same girl. Dime-piece wife, I think. Sorry if it's your ex. Yeah, he's a super stud. Yeah. Like I said, most people don't know he was actually personal security, and like helped train
for the crocodile hunter.
Wow. How crazy is that? Yeah. But, great career, man, and good for him. Tip to the hat to that guy for walking away at the right time, I think. He's won some big fights, lost some fights, but that's how it goes, life of a fighter. Good dude. But, yeah, Whittaker, Mousasi's next for him. I even tweeted. And then people were like, how about the technique of the fight? Whittaker's technique was phenomenal. He weathered the storm. Hands were high. Really didn't eat a lot of shots. Great takedown defense. Calm, cool, collected in his backyard. And Brunson sprinting, stuff like that. You can say from a traditional standpoint the technique isn't great, but if you look at other guys' techniques who are wild, like you can't say Tony Ferguson anymore because his technique in that last fight was ridiculous. But I used to compare him because he's a wild guy. But you got to remember, those guys are at such a high level. For them, they have the fundamentals that you speak of that you hate on. Trust me, they have them.
Yes.
If you think you know fundamentals and you think that guy fighting in his underwear at the highest level in the world doesn't know him, you're so out of line. It's not even funny. But those guys, it's chaos that's under control. They have the fundamentals. So Brunson, he looks like he's wildly out of control and actually got caught for it. He's won a lot of fights doing that too. But people were texting me, how about that technique? I've seen better technique on World Star Hip Hop and some funny stuff. So I retweeted it, but as my boy Bryan Callen would say, terrible fundamentals, people.
Oh God, man.
It was a fun fight though. I was sitting in my bed because I watched Lomachenko, where he fought, I think his name Taylor. Either way, he's
talking about the boxer.
Lomachenko, who's on HBO.
Yeah, great.
First of all,
gold medalist in the Olympics, I believe.
But he only has 7 pro fights. Yep. He fought a guy who's 30-0. Now, listen to this, and a lot of people probably haven't seen the fight. He made the guy quit, but not from damage. He outclassed him so bad. I think it was in the 4th or 5th round. He looks at the ref, goes, "Oh, I'm done." Not hurt.
Damn.
Nothing. Just goes, "I can't."
Because he was just so outclassed.
He couldn't do anything.
God.
And Lomachenko was just destroying him, angles, and the ref goes, "What?" And he goes, "I'm done."
No.
And so,
What the
so they interview, obviously they interview Lomachenko, and he's doing his thing. I think what's next for him is probably Manny Pacquiao. He needs a huge name fight, which I think would absolutely destroy anyone. To me, pound for pound, he's the number one by far in the world.
Right.
Now, the argument is, okay, so Demetrius Johnson's number one in the UFC, Lomachenko's number one in boxing, but they're so small, the risk of losing is way less than a guy like Cain Velasquez, like a John Jones, like a Michael Bisping. Because the guys aren't big, so they can make mistakes and not get knocked out and get finished.
Yes,
Where at higher weight classes, the chance of getting finished are way higher, right? So that's why I don't rank their margin of error. I don't rank them one.
Right.
I don't.
That's fair. That's fair.
Skill wise, they're number one.
Yeah.
Pound for pound, they're not number one. Yeah. But I know it's a little bit contradicting. But Lomachenko, I've never seen it. So this guy fighting world class. He's worked his whole life to get there. He ruined everything he's ever worked for in 27 minutes. Because now, and Max Kellerman, who's literally my favorite analyst in the game. Shout out to Max Kellerman. Him on First Take, he's such a beast, man. He's my favorite guy to listen to, by far. He's interviewing him, and he asks the question, he goes, "Man, were you even hurt? Like, I've never seen a guy just kind of wave the white flag." His corner didn't do it. He did it. That's how outclassed he was. And he goes, he had to think, he goes, "Well, no, I was hurt, but you can see on tape he really wasn't hurt. Granted, that's his word. He was just frustrated. But Max Kellerman goes, "Well, in our sport, and a lot of the people are going to critique you and criticize you, you're a boxer, you're a fighter. Like, you go out on your shield, man. You give everything you got. You didn't give everything. You just quit." And there's part of me as a fighter goes, "Jesus Christ, that's terrible. Like, dude, you're done. No one's going to want to promote you.
Can't quit.
It's over.
Yeah.
It's over.
You can't quit.
As a fighter, when you quit, your corner probably should have done that if that's the way they felt. You look at the Kell Brooks fight, which he didn't want to stop. They stopped it.
Yeah.
But he was getting
he also had a crushed orbital. Yeah.
So his corner probably should have. But when he does it, everything you ever worked for, it's out the window. All the respect's gone. Now, me, as a guy who's aware of CTE and brain trauma, I go, okay, well, he was really outclassed. I can see how he's kind of like, I'm done.
Well, maybe he said, "I'm just not ready for this opponent yet." Because I was watching, there's a YouTube thing on Lomachenko which says the tricks. He's got 5 different things. They were breaking it down. And you see how
it's almost a waste of time to watch that.
How he mixes everything up, what an artist he is. It's like a tapestry. Like the way he will confuse the shit out of you in so many different ways. It's beautiful to watch. And when they break that down, you have such an appreciation for the technique of boxing for a layman. When you watch that, you go, you realize how intricate and how huge it is.
Pros could watch that and not pick.
Now, of course,
it's like Dominic Cruz. I remember someone goes, "Is there any way you could learn like Dominic Cruz or T.J. Dillashaw?" I'm like, no. But you're an athletic guy. I get that.
Yeah,
that's what they do.
Yes,
that's their thing.
Yes,
the chance of you picking that.
It's a form of artistry. It's like they're painting a tapestry. The way they get you to commit, the way they get you to make mistakes, the way they get you to think that they're doing something by holding his right hand up, exposing, baiting you in, all those things.
Different angles.
And he changes it all up, so you can't. Your brain isn't working that quickly.
But the thing is, what sucks for Lomachenko is, like, that wasn't even fun for me. I'm like, Jesus Christ, at this level, this world class level, it's not even.
So how does he do?
It's not even fun to.
How does he do against Pacquiao? I wonder.
I think he destroys him.
Really?
I don't think Pacquiao touches him. No.
Really?
Mm-mm. But to get into the mainstream, he has to fight a big name. He's so good.
Is he small? Is he smaller than Mayweather?
Yeah,
he is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. But he can go up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Him and Pacquiao could fight at catch weight for sure.
Those Russians, man, they've got an incredible program.
It's
stay
ridiculous.
In those amateur ranks. So they'll fight 300 fights.
Exactly. So they're ready to go when they get there.
Yeah.
So I watched that, and then I was like, I record the UFC fights. I fast forward. I watched Kyle's last fight because shout out to Kyle. And then I got to the main event, and I almost woke my baby up, man. I was like screaming. It was such a fun fight.
You talking about Lomachenko? Or you talking about the?
I'm talking about Brunson-Whittaker.
Yeah.
I was like, because let's be honest, the card was kind of lackluster. So I'm like, all right, whatever. When I first started, it was 2 women fighting. I didn't know, so I was like, all right, whatever.
Right.
The funnest part was probably they were Bisping on the UFC Tonight. They interviewed him, like, what do you think of these guys? And it's true. He's like, I had to Google both their names just to figure out who they were and who they fought last. Let's be honest here.
Oh boy.
He's like they're great, they're good fighters, but I don't
Yeah.
really know who they are.